There's common sense, and then there's uncommon sense. Let's join Ray and Joe for the Uncommonse Sense podcast.
Hey, here we are live at the Stone State Classic.
Classic, yeah. How many years have we been doing this?
I don't know.
Do we know?
Not us. We're like 6 months, but I'm just saying, like, this is phenomenal. Chad Evans.
Chad Evans, Stone State Entertainment. This is their big golf tournament for the year.
It's going to be hard to talk with this music, though. Like, this is kicking.
It is.
You move, just like that.
Usually we don't have background music to our
usually
podcast.
we don't have coffee.
No, I've got water.
But hey, welcome to
welcome
the
to
Uncommonse Sense podcast. We got these new shirts, pretty stylish.
We've got new shirts. We've got hats. We've even got stickers. Here, we'll show these off. Look at that. Look for these stickers near you.
Yeah, they can't see that from there unless he zooms in.
But it's cool. We thought it would be cool since we do the podcast at Stone State Entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, we'd come to his big golf tournament here and actually do an episode, on location, which is pretty cool.
And you could rent us for your parties, matter of fact. We'll be like a party clown. You know what?
Instead of a clown or a bounce house for your kids.
Yeah, have these two old men that talk about nothing and know nothing.
That sounds like a great time.
It does, but you know what? This is going to probably be the one and only time that I can have a cigar. Unless Chad loosens up on the studio.
Right, yeah.
But I enjoy cigars, man. I don't know if they're bad for you. Listen, if cigars are bad for you, can you please?
I think it's better than some things.
Well, it's better than cigarettes because I don't inhale. I'm like Clinton.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I don't.
You and President Clinton have something in common.
Yeah, but no, this ain't going anywhere near you.
Thank you. I was getting a little bit nervous there for a second.
No, I meant about the inhale part.
Oh, okay.
Like, because he smoked weed but didn't inhale?
He didn't inhale, yeah.
So it doesn't count.
Yeah. But, it's a gorgeous morning. A little chilly out here.
It's a lot chilly. I can cut glass with these bad boys. It is that cold.
It is that cold.
It is bad.
But thankfully, we've got a little bit thicker material here, so it's
Thank
not
God
quite
I'm
as
fatter
evident.
than you are because I would be dying.
But as you can see, golfers are strolling in here. It's in the morning.
It is.
We're happy to do the Uncommonse Sense podcast on location here. A big event, ton of golfers. Benefits the ARC, which is out of Sunbury, a great nonprofit, and we're happy he has a great turnout, and we're happy to be here on location.
And there's the man. There's the man.
Come over and say hi. Yeah.
Hey, tell us about this event and how good it is and what it benefits, man.
Well, I was just out there putting your par 3 signs up.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what happened.
Oh, really?
They're still out there mowing, so they're going to put up the signs.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good.
Listen, it's a great day to have a great day.
It is a great day to have a great day.
It's going to be fun. It's picture perfect, beautiful outside, and we're going to have a blast.
It is. Yeah, it's awesome. It is awesome, man. But we're on location. We got the producer. We got the owner of Stone State.
Let's go.
He's got his new swing club going on. I made the Wall of Fame, which is amazing from like 15 years ago. I had hair.
We'll get you set up.
I got to get back to golfing. I got to get back.
There you go.
Yeah.
But have fun. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Thanks for having us.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Give me a beer then, okay?
Oh, good. We don't drink beer, but we'll get the brown stuff.
Bray forgot the bourbon this morning, if you can believe that.
Long story.
I might know a guy.
Yeah, perfect. So anyway, talking about common sense and stuff that isn't common, I was at Dunkin' Donuts in Bloomsburg the other day. There's a shout out for them. They're sponsoring us today.
Right.
My bourbon.
Yeah.
But the drive-through was broken.
Okay.
So now they didn't close. Like, people would drive around and drive to the window, and the girl would sit there and say, "Sorry, the drive-through's broken. You have to come inside if you want something."
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I'm not doing that. So I left. So, but if your drive-through is broken and there's a lady at the window that's going to tell everyone it's broken, why don't you just say, "What would you like?"
Right. Help
Get
out.
your
Help
order.
the flow. Help the flow a little bit.
It's going to be the same distance.
Right.
Instead of a microphone answering, then you drive around and wait in line, you're going to be actually waiting like it used to be.
It sounds like someone didn't think that through the whole way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're not going to sponsor us now.
It is absolutely
We're critiquing
crazy.
their. But so let's talk about golf.
Golf. All right. Why is it called a birdie? How come
exactly? Or an eagle, even.
Or all right.
Any of those terms.
So you have a bird, which is cool. You know, all right, a birdie is what? You get one stroke short than par.
Right.
And then an eagle is two strokes. But then what is a bogey? How come it's two? Feathered friends, and then what is a bogey?
Right, because bogey seems like a weird word. Like, why would you use that? to describe anything.
I don't understand.
I mean, it sounds like boogie, you know?
It does, yeah, the boogeyman.
Right.
Gosh.
Now, the only term that kind of makes sense is like a hole-in-one.
That does.
But even four, what does... Four, what? How do
right.
you know, 'cause it has nothing to do with strokes. It has nothing to do with.
Well, it's probably better than get the hell out of the way or watch out. It's probably easier.
You had an easy single syllable word when the ball is coming
or like
at you.
it's coming for you, maybe.
Could be.
Maybe it's FOR, not FOUR.
That could be. That makes sense.
Listen, it's just a funny. I don't love it. I don't mind playing, but I don't love it.
Yeah. Well, that was my problem. I was actually, believe it or not, on the golf team in high school. I wasn't very good. I didn't start playing until like I was a sophomore. And then I just kind of stopped about 15 years ago. So I said, I'm not going to embarrass myself out here with, people who are like real golfers.
Well, I don't know if they're real golfers. I know it's a good day off of work.
Well, right. Well, we're working now, though. This is work.
Well, this is a temporary job. But, I was thinking, what better excuse to drink bourbon and smoke cigars at 8 a.m. than to play golf?
True. Because even when we normally record this podcast, it's usually 9, 10 o'clock in the morning.
It is.
So we've got that extra hour or so buffer.
Yeah, is that bothering you?
No.
Do you like secondhand smoke?
I don't.
I think like if I smoke with my right hand, it's first hand smoke because I'm a righty. And secondhand smoke would be if I put it in my left hand. But we're going.
But that's what the Uncommon Sense podcast is all about.
It is.
Things like that.
It is so uncommon.
Yeah.
And it's funny how, all these cigarette companies had all these promotions back in the 70s and 80s, smoke. And now they have to put on their boxes, this will kill you.
Yeah.
And people are still smoking.
So, right.
Like, come on. That's just stupid.
Well, let's face it, there's a lot of stupid things out there.
There is.
Including this podcast.
Yeah, well, yeah. We still haven't figured out why it's pod.
No. And you know what? It's a little bit scary? We don't have a timer today, so we have no idea how long we're going.
Well, I figured
realized that.
When the sun is off my face, it's time to go. Because A, it's going to be too cold, and it's really close to the rim of your tent.
Right.
But hey, you can download this podcast on iHeartRadio.
You can. Yeah, that's why we have the iHeart out here in full effect today. So.
Yeah, and we have Rusty Rail Brewing Company.
Yeah, and we've got a nice vehicle over here from Blaze Alexander.
You get a hole-in-one on hole 10.
Yeah.
You're getting a 2026 Terrain AT4.
That's a nice-looking vehicle. I like that color. That
is called, oh, gosh.
I was going to mention it because I thought, if you don't know, I'll put you on the spot.
Riverstone Metallic. Yeah.
And let's face it, if it's really not that, nobody's really going to know.
It is. It's actually, it's Riverstone Metallic. It's probably one of the hottest colors right now.
That's a cool color. Yeah, it's a pretty cool color.
And it hides the dirt.
Yeah, looks like it will. Yeah.
So it's much better than black or white.
So you get a hole-in-one. What hole is that on?
Hole 10. If you get a hole-in-one on hole 10, you get that.
You're going to get.
But there's also a couple other things. There's if you get a hole-in-one on hole 17, I think you get a $1,000 shopping spree. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But
and like I said, a lot of people, it's registration time. Yeah, well, you can see, I think in the shot, you can see the line behind us.
Yeah.
Folks coming in to register. But it's cool to be out here on location doing this instead of, the studio's nice.
Yeah, the studio, I love the studio. I love that swing club he's got going on.
But I do like the idea of, you got a birthday party, you got a graduation party, you want the Uncommon Sense podcast at. We'll
we'll
roll up.
But we're talking about nothing. It's hard to think. Like, I'm usually good at thinking when there's monotony all over the place, but this music is really kicking.
Did he just turn that up? I think it seems louder now.
I think they did because they didn't want to hear our BS. But that's all right. Hey, how do you make a...
Well, we'll hear this podcast back, and they won't hear anything we're saying. All you're going to hear is the music behind us.
Oh, my gosh. I love this song. Candy Girl.
Candy Girl.
Yeah.
That's old school.
Yeah. You know who sings this one?
New Edition. No. Is it? No.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Hey, who sings Candy Girl? You could email us at pcuncommonpodcast@gmail.com. We figured out how to answer our email.
Have we ever looked at the emails? I don't know. I think one time.
Young Michael Jackson?
No, it's not Michael Jackson.
Okay.
No.
But, you mentioned about bogey that sounds like boogie, right?
Yeah.
How do you make a boogie dance?
I don't know.
Or how do you make a tissue dance? I already blew that joke up. It must be the coffee. I am so not used to drinking coffee.
Well, you're excited about golfing today.
I am. Yeah. And I really don't want to golf. I woke up this morning.
You'd rather sit here and drink bourbon and smoke cigar.
No, I had such a rough night. Do you ever wake up and just everything wants to work when you're want to sleep? Yeah, and I spent half, up and down, up and down, up and down. Matter of fact, I got up at 5:45 because I was exhausted. I had to go to Walmart and get some Pepto, which is wonderful.
Yeah, but 5:45 is late for you.
Dude, I was up at 11. I was up at 1:30. I was.
Because I normally see you like at the gym at like 4:30.
Well,
I'm thinking,
I didn't make the gym
geez.
today. I thought I was melting from the inside out. I mean, it was that bad. I had the Hershey squirts, and it was terrible. I know that's not what we're supposed to talk about, but Pepto-Bismol does do a hell of a job.
Does it?
Yeah, I don't know what flavor it is. It's Pepto flavor. But plop, fizz, what a relief it is.
It was funny. I saw, I think, a commercial on TV. I think it might have been this morning even, about Pepto-Bismol. Goofy as anything. They're at an Italian restaurant, and they're even saying Pepto-Bismol with like an Italian accent. I'm thinking, but it's probably true life. You know?
But what is Bismol? What's Bismol? Like what?
I don't know what Bismol is.
But it works wonders. Like I'm telling you, I think I drank a third of the bottle because when I got home, my wife's like, "That's a lot." I'm like, "I'm golfing." Like 18 holes. There's probably 2 toilets within 18
you're right.
holes.
Yeah, you don't want to be out in the middle.
That's why I wore black pants just in case. Just in case. There's
no tan or khaki pants.
No khaki today. So I just figured, and I got a change in my golf bag right there. So you don't take chances.
Well, you got to think about all these things.
It would be, because you're bending over, you're picking up. Well, I never get the ball in the hole anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you want people to talk about you in a good way, not that way.
No.
You want them to say, "Hey, wow, isn't that great? They got a hole-in-one, sponsor. You could win a car or the podcast or the station, but not look at that guy over there. He just crapped his pants." So
we used to talk about. You know what? Totally forgot. Slipped my mind. It went that fast. Yeah. Anyway, forgot that thought. But,
Well, you got stuck on the crap your pants part.
I did, and it had to do with that.
Luckily, Pepto-Bismol will kick in, and you'll be
a shitty round. I think it's going to be a shitty round, but it's a great day.
So we're doing the podcast here, but we're also, when this is done, we're going to record some stuff for the Facebook page too.
Yeah. I was thinking about a heckle hole. Wouldn't it be funny if someone's going to putt and you're like, yeah.
I think I saw that on 42nd Street back in the 80s, and I think that was the name of a store.
What?
The Heckle Hole.
Really?
No, I don't know.
No, Freckle. It was probably Freckle Hole.
Freckle Hole,
yeah,
maybe.
I remember that place. It was kind of
right on Broadway, off Broadway on 42nd Street.
Yeah. Listen,
back in the 80s, before they cleaned it up.
34th Street was where it was at.
That was before the Disney store and M&M store were there.
I'll never forget this, and this probably is inappropriate. You're going to have to mark this rated R. But when we were teenagers, we used to, when I got my driver's license, we used to drive up and down the streets of New York City. And 42nd Street had all the storefronts and all the theaters and all the people shows.
I remember,
34th Street and along by the Jacob Javits Center is where, I love this song, is where all the women hung out.
Okay.
So I'll never forget. I'm like 18, 19. We pull up next to him. I said, "Hey, how much is it?" She's like $100. Well, how much is it just, for a BJ? She's like 50. I'm like, how much for a hand job? She goes, 25. I'm like, I just wanted to know how much I was saving, and we were driving away and stuff, and but they were, and then one was a guy.
Well, back in college, I had a friend who wanted to pay for some services, and there was like maybe 3 or 4 of us, and we went. I wasn't really familiar with New York back then, so I'm not sure where we went, but it was off of Broadway or 42nd Street. It might have been where you're talking, actually, by the Javits Center. And, we go, like, we're standing on the corner, he's looking, girl pulls up, he's talking the price, working it out, and I think, I forget what the holdup was, but all of a sudden, this van pulls up, must have been like the pimp, because, like, there's 4 guys standing on a corner, and it was taking longer than the transaction should take. And, like, this guy's like, what do you got, like we were getting ready to get rolled, I think, because the pimp was wondering what we were doing, because we weren't partaking.
Right, it was just
we were there in support. We were moral support,
moral
but
support.
It didn't look.
I
guess that wasn't proper etiquette. What did we know? We didn't know.
Yeah, I got you. I understand. Oh man.
But, so definitely when I upload this show, we'll be marking this not for kids.
Yeah, definitely not for kids.
But so depending on when you watch this, obviously we're recording it here live from the Stone State Entertainment Golf Tournament, but this will run. Actually, we are running this today. I
Yeah,
forgot
we're gonna run it
I
today.
forgot what we're doing even.
Well, it depends on what time the bourbon
when they
gets
turn
here.
this over, we'll get this up today.
Yeah.
But also, depending on when you watch, just check back on our Facebook page because we'll have some funny content out here from the course. We'll do some shorts.
Yeah, Rusty Rails here. That's bad.
Well, we're close to the Rusty Rail
So the
hole
last
and
time,
10 here.
how are we looking on time?
Hey,
Huh?
16 minutes.
16.
All right.
Yeah, we're not real professional here.
Well, we don't.
Yeah. So the last time I was at a golf tournament with Chad Evans, and I hope his wife doesn't listen to his podcast.
No,
obviously.
probably not.
But the last time I was at the golf tournament, it was at the Links in Bloomsburg.
Okay.
And it was a craft beer tournament. And we ended up at the 9th hole, and Rusty Rail had a tent set up. They had their keg set up. They had their counter. But they didn't have anyone to man it. So I'm like, guys, I'll man it.
That's dangerous.
So I'll man it. So they had 4 different beers. I filled up 4 glasses for each guy, and we drank them before we left that tent. Dude.
By the next hole.
But I was so... when you get the spins? Like it was hot. We had these beers. I was spinning like crazy. And we're sitting there in the dinner afterwards, and Chad had to MC it, and I felt so bad, but I said, dude, I got to go. I couldn't sit in there. I got out in my car, and I got rid of some of it, and then I drove home. But no, I didn't drive home, then I Ubered. But
well, you figure, craft beers or those types of beers, that's dangerous. And especially if it's unmanned. I bet you, though, the next year, they made sure they had somebody manning it.
I think she just left. I think she had to go pee, but, man, I'm telling you.
You took advantage of that little window of
time.
time.
I took a picture of it. With us by that hole, and it actually ended up in the swing lounge at Stone State Entertainment. I'm like, man, I know the girl that was decorating the thing, and she sent me a picture. Hey, you made the Wall of Fame. I'm like, get out of here. And then I looked at the picture. I'm like, oh, that used to be me. I had hair. I don't think I was this large. But no, it was exciting, man. I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll definitely have to check out the Rusty Rail tent here before we. Before you golf, I'm just kind of hanging out for a while.
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful day though. I mean, it's cold though. It was 39 when I woke up, and I thought my stomach doesn't feel good. It's 39 degrees. I have no desire to golf today. No. I was looking for a replacement, and then.
Well, you get pumped up after doing the podcast here, and you'll be ready to go.
Yeah, we do. We do. But But it's really a good time. And like I said, if you have subjects or anything, just let us know. But we just have a good time doing this, and we talk about nothing, and it's for no reason whatsoever. Our goal is to make you think.
Yeah, I mean, if this is your first time tuning into the Uncommon Sense podcast, just because you thought, what the hell's going on behind these guys here? Where are they?
Yeah,
maybe that'll get you to watch. I talked to somebody yesterday who I'm Facebook friends with, who's like, "Oh yeah, what's your podcast about?" I'm like, "You've never watched it? You've got to. It's got to show up in your feed
when your friends don't even watch it."
Well, right. I'm thinking, hell, it's got to show up in your feed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I did get a lot of phone calls about the last clip you put on. I think it was because of the title. Viagra and bourbon. I mean, that got a lot of interest.
Right.
I've never, ever taken Viagra before in my life.
Yeah, but when you have that as the title, people are like, what's that about?
I don't need it yet. I would be curious. I wonder if you took it. I heard they're giving Viagra out in old age homes.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
It's keeping the guys from rolling out of bed.
Right.
It's like a kickstand, Let's just put that in there.
That's a good thought. But, we'll have to have a guest from a nursing home on and ask if that's a true story.
What about having a push-up contest and then giving the guys Viagra before? Tell them it's some kind of new energy pill.
Yeah, that would probably be more entertaining than CPAP karaoke.
I don't know. No one has really ever taken me up on that. But
no, they really haven't. But yeah, hopefully this is your first time watching the podcast, and you'll kind of be clued in, and you'll.
Yeah, listen, I think it's fun. I think it's cool being out here in the cold. I like the sun. And I bet you we're close to the 20-minute mark because, like I said, the sun is breached. The sun has breached the edge, right?
Yeah, we're doing the ancient sundial.
The ancient sundial.
How's the shadow on the table here?
Yeah, listen, all I know is when it's 12 o'clock in the summer, you shouldn't have a big shadow.
True.
So there's some. How do you tell time in a sundial at night?
I don't know.
That's a good question. We'll have to look that up.
We'll have to look that up.
But that'll
Yeah. I
be
thought that was a joke. I'm sorry. I
No,
ruined
I'm
that.
just serious. If they used to tell
Not a-
time by... Oh, I guess it's nighttime.
Not a serious question.
No, I guess it's nighttime. But anyway, if you enjoy us, follow us. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube,
check us out. Look for
Instagram,
our new stickers
TikTok.
at inappropriate places all over.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to put
Northeast
them in
Central
bathrooms.
PA. Oh,
Because
yeah.
think about it. The best time to download us is when you're
Oh,
taking
yeah.
a dump.
Next time you're at a urinal, you're going to look up and you're going to see the Uncommon Sense
Yeah.
guys staring at you.
Yeah.
Isn't
Please aim, because we do. We aim to please, so please aim.
Hey, for the next sticker, maybe that's what we'll get at the top. Instead
We'll
of
put them as toilet floaties.
Right, instead of
And
board, check
we'll
this
have 'em
out.
peppermint flavor.
Well, yeah. Well, instead of saying board, check this out, which is what they say. The
Yeah.
camera can't pick it up.
Yeah.
We'll put,
the
aim,
target.
please
Aim,
aim, or
please.
aim,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
Or our aim is to please.
Yes, so please aim. All right, guys, we're
Hey,
talking about nothing.
Thanks for joining us. Watch for some of our
Antics.
recorded live shots from out in the golf course. Wish Ray some good luck on the course today.
Yeah.
Now, what happens if, before we go, what happens if you get the hole-in-one on... you're going to donate?
Probably not eligible.
Probably not. I'm sure there's some fine print
There's
somewhere.
more chance of us getting 3 or 4 new followers from this podcast than
Then
we
you get
getting
a hole-in-one. Hey,
Enjoyed it, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us. See ya.
See ya.
The Uncommon Sense Podcast. It's like an outrageous cup of Joe.